There are places that feel untouched. And then there are places that feel sacred. Zion is one of those places. From the moment sunlight spills over its towering red cliffs, Zion feels less like a park and more like a living cathedral. Massive stone walls rise thousands of feet into the sky, carved by time, water, and gravity into shapes that seem almost intentional. Narrow canyons open into vast valleys. Rivers whisper through shadowed corridors. Every step feels like walking through the heart of something ancient. Long before hikers arrived, long before trails and visitor centers, this land belonged to the Southern Paiute people. They lived in harmony with the seasons, growing corn and gathering food in the fertile soil of the canyon floor. To them, Zion was not scenery, it was home, a place shaped by spirits and stories. When Mormon settlers arrived in the 1800s, they were overwhelmed by what they saw. One of them called the canyon Zion, meaning a place of peace and refuge. The name remained, and so did the feeling that this land was different from anywhere else. Zion's story is written in stone. The towering Navajo sandstone cliffs were once vast sand dunes, blown by ancient winds when this land was part of a prehistoric desert. Over millions of years, those dunes hardened into rock. Then water arrived. The Virgin River, small but relentless, began cutting into the sandstone, carving deep, narrow canyons that now define Zion. Slot canyons like the Narrows and Zion Canyon itself were not created by sudden violence, but by quiet persistence. Flash floods carried sand and stone through narrow passages, grinding away the walls until they became smooth and curving. Every ripple in the rock is a memory of moving water. Zion is alive with contrast. Dry desert plateaus sit just above lush river valleys. Hanging gardens cling to vertical cliffs, fed by hidden springs. Cottonwood trees grow where water reaches the surface, creating oases of green in a sea of red. Wildlife thrives here as well. Mule deer, desert bighorn sheep, and mountain lions move through the canyon, mostly unseen. Birds fill the sky. Insects pollinate wildflowers that bloom briefly after rain, turning the desert into color. Zion is a place of narrow paths and wide perspectives. Hikers walk along cliff edges and through rivers, feeling both fragile and free. It is impossible to be here and not feel the scale of time pressing gently against your thoughts. As we go deeper into Zion's story, we will discover how this fragile and powerful landscape was protected, how it faces the pressures of modern tourism and climate change, and why it continues to inspire people from all over the world. As Zion grew more famous, more people were drawn into its narrow canyons and towering cliffs. What began as a quiet sanctuary slowly became one of the most visited national parks in the United States. With that popularity came both wonder and responsibility. Zion is a place shaped by water, but it is also shaped by sudden extremes. The same Virgin River that gently flows through the valley can, within minutes, become a roaring wall of destruction. Flash floods sweep through slot canyons with terrifying speed, reshaping the rock and reminding everyone who truly controls this land. These floods are not disasters in nature's eyes. They are part of the canyon's heartbeat. The park's delicate ecosystems depend on these cycles. Floods clear debris, distribute nutrients, and allow new life to grow. Without them, the canyon would slowly lose its vitality. In Zion, even destruction is a form of renewal. As scientists began studying the park more closely, they discovered how fragile this balance truly is. Rising temperatures affect snowfall on the high plateaus. Less snow means less water in the river during summer. Plants and animals that evolved here over thousands of years now face shifting conditions they were never meant to handle. Yet Zion remains remarkably resilient. Endemic species of plants cling to cracks in the cliffs, drawing moisture from thin layers of soil. Mosses and ferns grow where water seeps through stone. Desert flowers bloom for only a few days after rain, turning entire slopes into waves of color before vanishing again. Life here has learned to wait, to endure, to seize opportunity the moment it appears. Human history is also etched into these canyon walls. Early settlers carved small farms along the river. Stone cabins still stand as quiet reminders of lives shaped by isolation and determination. Later, Zion became a protected park, ensuring that these cliffs, rivers, and hidden valleys would not be consumed by development. Modern visitors walk trails that wind through landscapes that took millions of years to form. Some climb the steep spine of Angel's Landing, where chains guide hikers along dizzying drop-offs. Others wade through the Narrows, where towering canyon walls close in so tightly that the sky becomes a thin ribbon of blue above. Every journey through Zion is a reminder that beauty is not passive, it is earned. And yet, Zion's greatest challenge now comes from love. So many people want to experience this place that the land itself feels the weight of human presence. Trails erode, wildlife retreats. The park must constantly balance access with preservation. Zion teaches us a difficult lesson. Protecting something means sometimes stepping back. As we move into the final chapter of this story, we will reflect on what Zion truly represents, not just as a destination, but as a living symbol of Earth's quiet strength and endless patience. As the day fades in Zion, shadows stretch across the canyon walls and the red stone begins to glow like embers. The river softens its voice. The wind carries the scent of desert plants. In this moment, the park feels less like a destination and more like a presence, something that exists beyond human time. Zion has always been shaped by forces far greater than us. Wind carved its dunes, water cut its canyons, gravity pulled cliffs into valleys, and through it all, life found a way to adapt. This is the quiet miracle of Zion, not that it is dramatic, but that it is patient. Every layer of rock here is a memory. Every curve in the canyon is a moment that lasted thousands of years. Standing in Zion, you are not just looking at nature, you are witnessing the slow work of the earth itself. For indigenous peoples, this land was never separate from spirit. It was something to live with, not dominate. Modern science now echoes that wisdom. We understand that ecosystems are not machines, but relationships, fragile, complex, and deeply connected. Zion reminds us that true power does not come from force, but from persistence. As climate change and human pressure reshape the planet, places like Zion become more than parks. They become teachers. They show us how landscapes survive, how life adapts, and how small choices ripple through vast systems. The future of Zion depends on what we choose today, how we travel, how we conserve, how we listen to the land. And as this journey comes to an end, one truth remains clear. Zion is not a place we own. It is a place we borrow. If this story brought you closer to the natural world, take a moment to support it. Like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe for more cinematic journeys through the most extraordinary places on Earth. Because some landscapes do not just inspire us, they remind us who we are.